Well, happy Halloween. First off, to anybody watching this on not Halloween, can you not tell that this is the Halloween edition? Although I think I wear this look all right. So if you cannot tell who I am, then just straight shame on you. I revoke all your nerd cards, and I don't even know what you're doing here anymore. Anyway, this isn't actually about Halloween. This is about polling. Because I'm not sure if you guys have forgotten, but we are 6 days away from an election. This is scary. 6 days? Wait, because it's Tuesday, so it is Thursday today, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 5 days. I'm glad that we got to do that together. Anyway, if you can't tell, I am kind of losing my mind a little bit. It's kind of insane that we're this close to the election, and the doomer in me is not going away. But that actually brings me to our video today, because I wanted to take a look at somebody that's broken down the polls and has done more of the legwork than even 538, because 538 is great as an aggregator, but I think that it kind of fails on some of the merits as far as like actually looking at 2022 and the other off years, because they're only taking into account like the presidential elections. So with that being said, I wanted to take a look at this video. Sorry, I got to turn down the metal. To politics.
Huge one for you today. So in just a second, we have a gigantic poll that came out, and the Kamala surge is official heading into Election Day. This is the most important poll of this election cycle, in my opinion. So we'll discuss that. We'll talk about how the Washington Post is in utter freefall and complete collapse over Jeff Bezos overruling his writers to block a potential Kamala endorsement. Then we'll get to Nikki Haley, went on Fox News, and she flames the Trump team, basically admits, like, they won't let me help them, right? And they're making some pretty big mistakes down the stretch. Then we'll get to RFK Jr.'s terrifying new comments, an amazing poll which shows that Republicans have a very, very serious problem. And later on,
I know that this is doing kind of the thing where I was kind of saying earlier that looking at polls that kind of just tell you what you want to hear, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't just be searching out like the vibes-based polls. But I'm feeling pretty good about this one.
Trump is already mangling voter fraud facts to try to lay the groundwork to make it so that he steals the election if he loses. He's been screaming this from the rooftops for a while now. We have another example of that coming up. So everybody, you know the drill. Please do me a big favor. Like and subscribe. Subscribe is the more important one. And thank you to everybody who supports this show on Patreon or tips with a thanks button on
real quick. Everything he's saying, ditto.
YouTube, or supports Crystal Kyle and Friends, which is on Substack.
I'm so lazy.
Below, you can sign up for free and get the audio.
Sorry. I'll actually do my this is a good time just to say like, subscribe, and if you want to, leave me a tip and super thanks.
Podcast, or you can pay $5 a month and get the video of every interview and get it.
All right, here we go. I had to take care of the trick-or-treater thing. I think that I'm good though. Man, Halloween. This was definitely a fun day, but at the same time, very, very hard to stream when you have constant interruptions. So I just called it for a little bit and restarted. So let's continue this one from the point that it was at for you guys.
And thank you to everybody who supports this show on Patreon or tips with the thanks button on YouTube, or supports Crystal Kyle and Friends, which is on Substack, which you can sign up for below. You can sign up for free and get the audio podcast, or you could pay $5 a month and get the video of every interview and get it a day early. By the way, this week we are having a debate. I need to start doing that. A Trump v. Kamala debate. We have a conservative, Will Chamberlain, who's going to come on, and it should be fun.
Will Chamberlain, the basketball player?
Should be fun. Honestly, it is tough to get conservatives to come on the show to debate. And for understandable reasons, I mean, either me or Crystal, it would be enough to have to go up against me or Crystal, and you got two of us, right? So shout out to Will for coming on. So that should be interesting. That should be fun. You could sign up below. All right, without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. So this is, in my opinion, the most important poll of this election cycle so far. Okay? We've talked about problems with pollsters this cycle, and now you have even Nate Silver.
Yeah, okay, so if Nate Silver, like the god of polling, is finally conceding that it's like, hey, this was kind of swung in Trump's direction the last 2 weeks here. And man, I would like to know, like, what the heck was going on there.
The polling guru master man himself, he's come out and said, I think the major polling outlets are hurting, it's called. And hurting just means they're like hedging their bets and saying it's 50-50 so they don't look stupid no matter what happens, right? We had 4...
Yeah, but then what's the purpose of them? Why are we even going to listen to them if that
major polls come out in like the
that's your whole job
same week, and every single one was like 49-49, they're dead tied. And it's like, and all the swing states are like within the margin of error, which is very fishy. Somebody said like it's nearly statistically impossible to have the 4 major pollsters come back with like the exact same numbers. So in other words,
can I copy your homework?
Like we don't really know what's going to happen, but there are some pollsters who are not showing numbers that are like dead tied. And this one right here is the most important. And I say that because of the methodology of this poll in particular. So this is a YouGov poll. Guys, 48,732 likely voters were used for this poll. Ooh. That is a colossal sample size. It's a giant sample size. By the way, in my personal opinion, you could poll all voters, you could poll likely voters, and you can poll registered voters. I think the one that has the best track record and the one that makes the most sense is likely voters, right? So this is 48,732 likely voters. What did they find? Kamala Harris at 51%, Donald Trump at 47%. That means Kamala's +4. That's what that means. And Trump, yet again, kind of hitting his ceiling. He really has a ceiling at about 47%. So to get into some more of the specifics, among Democrats, Kamala's up 90.
Okay, so that's just
6-4.
Okay.
Among Republicans, Trump is up 95.
I'm sorry, that's not matching some of the stuff that I was seeing, but
5-4. And then among independents, it's Trump 48 and Kamala 45. Biden 2020 voters, Kamala's winning them 95-3. Trump 2020 voters, Trump is winning them 95-4. The people who didn't vote in 2020, who are likely voters for this time around. So like people who sign up, they just registered. 51-42, Kamala is winning. Look at this, guys. Among men, Kamala 49-48. Among women, Kamala 53-42. For young people, ages 18 to 39, it's Kamala 59-37.
Okay. Hold on.
For middle age,
some of the updated polls just came out, and they're evening back out to where, even on like 538, they're going back to almost 50-50. I'll just call it right now. I have a feeling on election day, it's going to be 50-50 on 538, which I hate to say it kind of does mean like, what have we been doing this whole time if on the last day they just go, well, could be a coin toss like that. It's like he was saying, that just seems like you're playing it way too safe. And honestly, what is the point? We as Americans have been kind of asking that for a while now, where we're just like, what? Polling never really seems to track, but, then you always have those, outliers where you're like, okay, that was a good one. And that's why we play that game where like Nate Silver, he's been right enough times to where he kind of like holds that throne where he's just like, yes, but I've only been wrong twice.
40-59, it's Kamala 49-48. The only age group that Trump is winning is 60 plus, and it's 52-46.
Yeah, surprise.
Here's another one that's kind of wild. In the past, this gap would have been much, much bigger. But among white people, it's Trump 51-47.
Excuse the snort.
If he was performing well, that would be a much bigger gap than it is. Among black people, Kamala 77-21. To be fair, it is true that Trump, even in this poll, has picked up among black folks in particular. Yeah. Among Hispanic people, Kamala 58-40. And other is Kamala 59-37. College educated is Kamala 59-38. No college is Trump 51-46.
Surprise.
White college is Kamala 57-40. And white no college is Trump 57-40. And then finally, we'll get to, urban, suburban, rural, and income. But For in the cities, it's Kamala 62 to 35. Suburban, it's Kamala 52 to 45. Kamala winning the suburbs. And rural, it's Trump 58 to 30.
That's actually a surprise right now because she wasn't doing as well, especially like about a week ago. She was doing really poorly in the suburbs.
9. Income under 40,000, Kamala's winning 50 to 47.
Oh, wow.
Income 40,000 to 80,000, it's Trump by 1 point, 49 to 48. And then income over 80,000, it's Kamala 54 to 43. So,
okay, this is much better than I thought it was. Okay, so obviously this is kind of what the whole video was about, was that the polls, I do feel like they were steering us wrong. I also feel like even left-wing pollsters were kind of jumping on the doomer train specifically because they were just like, hey, we need some of that money too. We need some of that outrage too. So let's get on that train, eh?
I think the biggest takeaway for me in this
lots of clicks.
This one is white voters. Trump is only up 51 to 47.
That's crazy.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I think he needs that number to be.
Although, is that a little racist in itself to just be like, I thought all those whites were going to go for Trump.
Be bigger if he's going to win, right? And the other thing is, among women, Kamala 53 to 42, women make up the majority of the electorate, bro.
Yeah.
So that's how you get a situation. 48,732 likely voters. It's Kamala plus 4.
Dude. Wow.
I do think, I got to be
I don't know why I'm making fun of him saying bro when I say dude all the time.
honest. I do think this poll perhaps matters even more than the average of the polls. Because like we said, if they're hurting.
Look at that sample size right there. That's way, way more than they usually do. I mean, we're talking, I can't do the math on this one, but I do know that they usually poll around about 1,200 to maybe 2,000 people per like poll. So then, this is a big one.
What does it tell us? It doesn't give us a real accurate picture. So yet again, I mean, I know we've had a bunch of these stories leading into election day, but it ain't me, dog. I'm just the simple messenger. I'm bringing you what I see.
Dog. All right, now I mean, hey.
And what I see is
children of the 90s, baby.
A situation where
technically I'm an 80s baby, but
I think Kamala is doing better than many people think. But the thing you have to beware is
they were just saying that this is kind of like the opposite of what was going on in 2016 and 2020, and that like they think that the correction came because of what happened in 2020. Because they said that they were like, yeah, I think that we were over polling Trump, Trump supporters. And it turns out that's kind of what ended up happening. And that's why the red wave and the perceived red wave was, a thing in the first place. And I think that enough conservatives are the reason that the pollsters are kind of being really careful with this, because they feel like they may have, shot them in the foot because they made them feel like things were going so much better. Same with 2022. I think that we're not focusing enough on the 2022 elections and what happened there and how many surprises there were, especially in the, what do you call them? The special elections, where Democrats pretty much swept them. Jeez, I can't even talk today. But and again, with the abortion amendments or whatever,
is the Trump people are already broadcasting, hey, if we lose, we didn't really lose. One of the things they're bringing up is that poly market number. Like they use an offshore cryptocurrency betting firm to be like,
yeah, that's another one. That's why 538's been so skewed. Is I was kind of looking into that myself, because I was just kind of like, hey, you know what? I feel like 538, like when they say that they're looking at betting websites, I was like, which ones are they taking into account? And it turned out to be this one, because obviously betting on elections is technically illegal unless you're using crypto, I guess. So I was like, oh, so they're basing their turnout on that. Like because they were also looking at economic factors and other things, popularity of Biden still and all that crap. But that was the main one that was influencing it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Like, look, Trump's up 60 something at 60 something percent. And it's like, that is not indicative. What are you talking about? So they have these things. Trump was like, oh, I have a 93% chance of victory. No, you don't. You fucking utterly made that up. But this is what they do. They try to lay the groundwork to if they lose, go, bro, we knew we were going to win. This was stolen. Why do you think we did a rally in New York? New York isn't a swing state. We felt like the swing states were all locked up, so we even went to blue states to try to make
Madison Square Garden. I needed to play the garden.
make our case.
I needed to say I
so
did it.
It could get ugly, but in terms of where Kamala's sitting right now, going into election day,
Mother.
better than a lot of people think, bro. It's true. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe.
Hey, y'all, I gotta do that. I gotta make a bumper like that. Just one that I can use on repeat. So yeah, my big takeaways here are that the polls have essentially just been skewed to make, like, he kind of said this. I can't claim this as my own thought. But I do think it is skewed that way because they don't want to look stupid, which that in itself is stupid for being a polling company where you're just like, hey, this is your whole, like, this is the whole shtick. Maybe you should commit to the bit and, try and actually give us some real information. But here we are, I'm just saying it for myself. I don't think it's 50-50. Honestly, I think that they're underpolling Kamala supporters, and they're also just, for some reason, playing that game where they're like, well, we don't want to give numbers past the 50-50 in the margin of error. So, which, yeah, real ballsy. Also, I don't know. It seems like it was so weird, the timing and like how quickly he rose to the numbers that he did, where I was just like, that seems off, because it's almost like they like pre-programmed that for like an October surprise that was supposed to happen that never came, and then all of a sudden, surprise, they made their own October surprise with the Tony Hinchcliffe stuff, and now they're trying to backtrack and be like, oh well, Biden called us garbage. It's like, you know what, you lost all credibility when you're like, don't be so sensitive all the time. So anyway, I hope you like my costume. If you know what, I'm Eddie from Stranger Things, for the people that don't know. Yeah. I actually have a feeling, just based on some of my analytics, that some of you are be like, you look like a dude I went to high school with. So, hey, I as I said, I feel like I wear it well. I also love Eddie. I love Stranger Things. Whoa. But happy Halloween, everybody. I hope you guys all had a good Halloween. I had so many trick-or-treaters. That's why I was just like, you know what? Late video today. Why not just kind of make a lighthearted one where we tackle some polls that give us a little bit of hopium. So, but I really appreciate you guys checking out my content. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I have memberships available where I will be having some members-only videos and also some members-only live streams coming up here. And I also have a Discord that you can join. Just search PepTalks TV and it'll pop right up for you. Also, I do have super thanks, so if you want to leave a tip, I really appreciate it. But yeah, just definitely hit that subscribe button, trying to get to that 1,000, and I appreciate every single one of you. You guys rule. But happy Halloween, and I will see you in the next one.